Hey, what's up, man?
So today on the program, guys, we'll be engaging in what we like to call borderline content. So Lord Christ, please, YouTube, don't ban my ass, please.
What'd you say, man?
YouTube,
What?
I was just asking politely to please not get banned.
Okay, calm down. Just kidding, permaban.
Oh no, YouTube, no! YouTube, did you just spit on me?
Oh my god, calm down, dude.
So guys, on today's episode, I want to check back in with a guy who we haven't talked about in a while. This guy was a big deal a couple months ago, because he was... I guess the way to describe it is because he told Joe Rogan to take horse medication, and Joe Rogan did it and accepted it without question. But they call this the Dark Horse Podcast, and people make fun of them for the horse medicine. I'm just saying.
It is a little bit weird. It is a little bit weird.
And it makes me want to
make pee-pee.
And the Wall Street Journal is publishing on the fact that this study finally, remember, you were told randomized controlled trials are the gold standard of science. That's what you were told, right? Well, here is what you are now told is the largest randomized controlled trial that's been done on this topic. Well, technically... but it wasn't done well.
I mean, this is the kind of explicit and intense.
So, if you haven't heard about this, a couple studies came out. One big study, and that two pretty big studies. One from Malaysia, another one I think it was here in the United States. Big, huge, very professionally done studies on the horse medicine, and they found that it's useless.
Through how many things were never exposed to a randomized controlled trial that we know work. Yeah. How many things are incapable of being exposed to a randomized controlled trial that we do science in other ways. Mm-hmm. But lots of people probably accepted, randomized controlled trial is certainly the best kind of science. What? And so, this is the largest randomized controlled trial done on this topic. Well, what did it say?
I was a little bit skeptical, guys, about these people. The Dark Horse Podcast. Again, I've said this many times. If you start a podcast, just name it your name. The philosophy-minded men. Don't do that. The philosophizing brandy sippers. Ooh, good name.
Cool guys alert.
Welcome to Friedrich Nietzsche's YouTube Hour. And yes, those are Funko Pops behind me. So, needless to say, I was a little skeptical. I see this Dark Horse Podcast. This guy's making insane claims. But this last clip I just played, this proves that these people are real scientists. Because what real scientists do, when you're faced with evidence, they do a test, and the test generates some results. You say, no! Shit! The thing is that result is wicked. It's wicked and evil. Also, I took a look at this paper that they're talking about, that they're like, this shit is bullshit. This is bullshit and I looked at the people who did this. Guess what, morons? I didn't see Joe Rogan's name on there once. So blah, 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 you get to the conclusion. Treatment with horse medicine did not result in a lower incidence of medical admission to a hospital due to progression of COVID or prolonged emergency department observation among outpatients with an early diagnosis. It doesn't work. It doesn't work, in other words. They did a highly controlled, is about as best as science can offer, with real people, with real disease, and it didn't work. Okay, I am the worst at this, by the way. It is amazing that anybody watches this piece of dirt channel because, frankly, I forgot to say this guy's name, Bret Weinstein. This is a little sad. This happened about a month ago. These guys are they're pretty famous. Eric and Bret Weinstein. They're pretty famous online. People are like, wow, these guys are geniuses, bro. And Eric Weinstein, the brother of this guy, the brother of this Dark Horse guy, this makes me feel a little sorry for him. I'm not gonna lie. So let's go easy. Okay, let's go easy. Take it easy. These are human beings. Okay, calm down. But his brother kind of like confronted him in public on Twitter Which, that's the beauty of Twitter. You can just kind of out your family. You know, it's like, my sister's a bitch. This gives me no pleasure. I'll have more to say at some point, but I really haven't enjoyed the horse medicine conversation. The abuse. Being called cowardly for not supporting the horse medicine as a cure, etc. Oh, man. This is their world. If you don't get on board with the horse medicine, hey, you idiot, we're trying to do this. Off these MAGA pukes. Get on board, bro. So he feels like it's they get on his ass. They basically get on this guy's ass if he doesn't go along with the horse medicine crap. He said it certainly never made sense. Apologies, welcome. And then he posts a link to the study that I was just reading about. Bret Weinstein gets into it with his brother. A remarkable place for you to have landed. Well, I mean, not really. He posted the study. It's not remarkable. I would say it's actually the opposite of remarkable. It's pretty predictable. You know, most people, you know, you do a scientific study and it gets a result and you say, okay, it's the opposite of remarkable, but that's okay. I understand why you steered clear of the horse medicine conversation. I don't understand why you'd re-enter it like this. Whoa, okay, now we're getting into feeling sorry territory. Hey, brother. A big study came out proving that what you've been saying to people, and it's kind of a dangerous thing to say because many of them might actually die from what you're saying. A study came out kind of disproving what you're talking about. So I'd just like to say, you know, that study came out. People might want to take a look at it. And then Bret Weinstein is like, why are you getting back in this now? Eric Weinstein replies to the reply. You may not appreciate how aggressive and simplistic many became because I didn't fully embrace and devote myself to the idea of horse medicine as, quote, perfect. This isn't about horse medicine. It's about the desire never to deal with unnuanced fanaticism. Ooh, brother burn. Ooh, brother is turning on brother, bro. Band of brothers. You know what I mean? That doesn't make any sense, but you know. Who are some brothers that turned on each other? Shakespeare. You know, probably he turned on his brother. Okay, but you invited apology while posting as if the evidence was finally in a deeply flawed study. I mean, this is the truly devastating part. This poor guy just getting owned by his brother publicly. Are you oh, wow. What is it? What did he say? What did he just say?
Are you aware? Are you aware?
He's stealing my material.
Are you aware
that many in your audience bully anyone who doesn't see horse medicine as a near perfect COVID cure? I'm an anti-horse medicine maximalism and tired of online harassment. You might address that. So I guess, but Bret Weinstein's fans are like, anyone who says it doesn't work can suck my and I will email them that and Twitter them that. That's the mark of it. All these are perfect marks of scientific thinking and reason. Coming from the scientific community, right at the top, the dark horse, the tip of the mane of the horse, we call it, these two. Coming down from the mane, all the way to the tail of the horse, which is the audience, okay, is just pure scientific thinking. Hey, we believe this thing with no evidence. You know what? I don't think I believe that. God damn you! What?
You will die from my hands.
That's you know, that seems. I'm not gonna say it seems rational. I'm gonna say it seems Christ-like in its rationality. The maximalists are certain about it all. Address them. I'm not continuing this here. Oh, ooh.
Weird.
Here we go. Here we go.
Make pee-pee.
He just
Make pee-pee.
on that guy, man.
take a doo-doo pie?
He told him to
Take a doo-doo pie.
I know you're my brother, but you can really
Take a doo-doo pie.
on this one. Here it is. You know what, though? My ass is a little bit sympathetic to Bret Weinstein. You know, I kind of get it. He was a professor at some college in Portland. You know, these kids come in. This is what it's like to be a professor, okay? These kids come in. They say, whatever, teach. Hey, teach. What's up, teach? And then, get this. Then these kids, they punch a jukebox and the music starts playing. It sounds like this.
Take a doo-doo pie.
So he said, I don't want to deal with this crap anymore. I would prefer to trick the unfortunate of society.
And long after the Wall Street Journal and others touted this as, well, the evidence is finally in, right? Now, what are the chances that all of the people who got suckered a few days ago and saw the Wall Street Journal touting this are going to find
Did they got suckered?
Phil Harper or Alexandros Marinos or Chris Martinson or any of these?
Those are guys who have Substacks, I think. You did like a really, you did an intricate, controlled scientific experiment with real people who had the disease in a hospital setting. Probably the best possible study you could possibly do on this subject. And it turns out it doesn't work. What they were saying works. Yeah, but no, that study is not good. What's good is a guy with a Substack we like. Unbelievable, these people.
Chinese people look Chinese.
Okay, so God bless them. These two were making two big claims about this pandemic that we all had to deal with, okay? We all got diarrhea from it. They're making two big claims publicly, very publicly, and it influenced a lot of people. One was horse medicine is the old dark horse. Why didn't they come out with their own white labeled version of it? Dark horse medicine. So that was claim number one. I mean, wildly irresponsible. The other thing that these guys love to talk about was the lab leak theory.
All right. So the weird thing is, and this surprised me at the time. I had numerous conversations with people who had not taken a public position, but privately were suspicious about lab leak. As effectively we were winning the argument on lab leak, right? I had numerous conversations. This is a little bit of a surprise that we're winning. Usually the enemy is so powerful that even if you win the argument hands down, you don't win the perception of the argument, right? Because it is so capable of wielding its propaganda machine to prevent recognition.
Yep. And in that clip, he's basically doing, I'm the underdog. We're the underdogs because the mainstream media doesn't want you to know that these
Chinese people look Chinese.
But these people were out all over the place talking about this stuff. Again, one of the biggest platforms that's out there, Joe Rogan. They went on Bill Maher's show. Bill Maher had he's like, ooh, okay. Went on Bill Maher's ass to say this stuff.
It certainly is a 50-50. Would you say that?
Oh, it's far more likely than that. As a matter of fact,
right.
I said, I think in June that the chances that it came from the lab looked to me to be about 90%.
What? Where'd you get that percent? That's a very specific 90%? Yeah, they won't let us talk about it. This was January of 2021. 2 million views on this, Bill Maher. They won't let us talk about it. The media won't let us talk about it. Just all the biggest media will let us talk about it. Because this is not and we'll look at some other news outlets too. It has almost nothing to do with trying to pursue the truth of this crap, but trying to say things that you think your audience is going to like. I'm totally agnostic on this. It could have come from a lab. I wouldn't be surprised. As we're going to see in a second, there's way more scientific evidence that it came from a food market, an animal market, these little animals running around, they got COVID.
In the city where the first cases are publicly recognized to have been, which is practically across the street from the laboratory, were infected. That is no kind of smoking gun with regard to origins at the market. People were walking through a market and were infected, and there's no evidence of the stuff anywhere else.
Yeah, no, it's nothing.
In the market.
And there's no evidence of the stuff anywhere else.
Yeah, no, it's nothing.
In the market.
But then, okay, so that's the George Gao paper. So what about these other two papers? Did they do it? Could you scroll down just a little bit?
Get that
So these other two papers, interestingly, do not nail down what is claimed here either. I don't know if you've ever been to the Wuhan seafood market, but you get the ferret badger popsicles and the raccoon dog steaks from the same vending machine. So
all right, it's kind of cute banter, giving people who have a different food culture than you a little bit of a hard time. That's not nice, but you're doing a little comedy. I like that. It's fine. It's fine.
What?
Take a doo-doo pie.
But the problem is that it's like literally a conspiracy theory right now. There's no evidence for it. There is some compelling evidence to the contrary, though. On the other side, on the wet market the thing. The most interesting one, which is sort of weird that they don't mention this, to be honest. Like you would, if you were doing science, you would kind of weigh this stuff out, be like, okay, there's this other stuff that this guy looked at, and the guy who I think is doing the most interesting work on this is a guy named Michael Warraby, which they kind of didn't really talk about. I mean, they brought it up in a Forbes article, and I think it said it, but I don't think they even talked about it. Michael Warraby is a top virus sleuth. He has tracked the origins of the 1918 flu, HIV, and now SARS-CoV-2. Warraby is a research professor at the Department of Ecology and Evolutionary Biology in the University of Arizona. So why is this guy wrong? Because this guy, basically, he mapped out, and you could look at, he published a paper on this where you have basically 30 minutes from each other. You have the the place where they were researching this, where they say, with no evidence, that it leaked from. And then you have the market that this guy thinks it came from. And the market, what he did, this guy has an actually pretty interesting job. He does this all day. And then he says,
I'm calling bluff.
But he has kind of a cool job where he just looks at information, and as much information as he could find, and then he puts it all together, and he says he does detective work. He does detective work basically before diseases. And so far what he's got is that there's a huge cluster of the most early recorded cases of this disease at that market. If you look at basically a heat map of it, it's just all red around the market. All the early cases came from that market. And he also found out that they went and they kind of did a sweep of that place, and they found tons of COVID virus on the actual instruments, stuff that cuts, the meat and all this stuff.
So photographs of animals that can easily spread the virus. Anything else?
Yeah. So these animals, also there's proof that they were held in cages in or near one stall in particular at the market, a stall where scientists actually found a lot of SARS-CoV-2 on surfaces. Michael Warraby led two of these studies. He's an evolutionary biologist at the University of Arizona. He says inside this stall, the virus was found on very specific surfaces, including machines where animals were butchered.
The samples were very animal-y. For example, a feather remover, a cart of the sort that we see in photographs that are used for transporting cages. But best of all, a metal cage in a back room.
New York Times article is on the closely related subject of Hunter Biden's laptop.
Oh,
Seems like something as a scientist you might want to look at. No, but let's check out Hunter Biden's laptop. What's he got on that laptop? It's me, Hunter Biden. It's me, Hunter Biden. I use my dad. My dad, I don't know what he does. He wanted to invade Iraq, but, I get prostitutes, bro. That's me. That's my life. Didn't Hunter Biden want to be an artist for a second? That's kind of it. I wonder let's look up Hunter Biden's paintings, actually. Okay, we got some Hunter Biden paintings here. They're not too bad. It's kind of like John Lurie kind of crap. What does the Village Sun have to say about it? Hunter Biden's art, shades of Klimt, but sans the soul and depth. Ooh, he's getting killed by the Village Sun. Okay, the other guy I want to talk about, who kind of dabbles in the same kind of crap, but I can't help but like Russell Brand, because I do think his heart is generally like in the right place, even though he does seem to get all his views from what we call AV. Again, YouTube, please, no! He seems to get a lot of his views from AVers. I was going to say some mean stuff about him. Oh, Russell Brand is just Philip DeFranco after an ayahuasca retreat and sweaty yoga. But I'm not going to say that. I do. If you watch all of Russell Brand's stuff, I watched a lot for this. He knows. I think he gets it. He just really likes those AV clicks.
Fake accounts, misinformation, fake news, troll farms. Is social media being used to generate a disorienting reality that leaves us all baffled? Is it?
I like Russell. He's fine.
Hello there, you 5.6 million awakening wonders. Thanks for joining me.
Okay, so this right here, and the reason to talk about Russell Brand on YouTube, though, he is massive, bro. 5.66 million, and unlike some of these, Jen Shapiro and all this, Michael Knowles, people watch this. I mean, he gets this one's got 500,000. A lot of them have 1 million. People tune in. But this right here, this little clip is like, this is Russell Brand in a nutshell right here.
Of warfare, how warfare isn't now just military or chemical, but is actually psychological, that we're in a war right now. Unless we start to decentralize political power, we're doomed to live in a state of spellbound hypnosis and disorientation. Have a look at this conversation.
Okay, that's that's well said and a good point. If political power is centralized, which it is, he never goes into too much specifics, I mean, this is, of course, is economic. If you have a bunch of money, you run the government, bro. He's totally right. And then seconds later,
please stay to the very end, because Tim Pool is illuminating as always. Tim Pool, another one of the brilliant people on YouTube that I don't always.
One of the brilliant? Tim Pool, brilliant. He's a guy who tricks the unfortunate of society to make a lot of money. It doesn't take a genius to do that. That just takes no morals to do that. But just to get a taste of, here's a more recent taste of the genius of Tim Pool. This is from May 27th. This is after the horrific shooting in Texas, a couple hours from where I live. Defund the police, and this is what you get: incompetent officers. And Tim Pool Clips responded to this. This tweet is completely false. Tim Pool is either lying or lazy. This year, Uvalde Police general funding is up almost $250K. Uvalde, in a little town like that. Uvalde Police received $532K grant from Governor Abbott. Uvalde School District received $435K to strengthen security.
You used to say more frequently, at least as far as I'm aware, that you felt that, I guess in the final days of Trump, that America was on the brink of some kind of civil war.
I still do.
Do you?
Yeah, there's
do you, love? All right. Have a bit of civil war then, eh? I guess I'm horrible at doing a British accent. Again, I can't wait to see the civil war that Tim Pool has been predicting forever. Some of these militias from Mississippi, Texas, 2/3 of which are FBI agents, are going to march over to Google. They're going to say, "You put Trump back on," or whatever. They're going to march over to Twitter, but put Elon Musk in charge. We're taking over this building. I hope Tim Pool's right, because I'm fascinated to see what this civil war will look like. They're going to march over to Williamsburg or whatever. You shut down this vegan pastry shop right now. Oh my God! Wow, this reply. This reply to Tim Pool. I won't put this lady's name, but so this Tim Pool Clips guy is like, yeah, no, Tim Pool is full of crap, and shows it's obvious, dude. It doesn't even take a lot of research. So this lady replies, I think he means the defund the police movement that demoralizes a lot of cops in this nation. no! Oh, they were critical! Oh, no. Us people who are... We need guns to resist tyranny, but also don't ever say anything bad about the police because they'll get upset. They'll get upset, and then they'll be so upset and they actually didn't rush into that school to save those kids because they were doing that. They were doing this. It's absolutely disgusting that the Uvalde police didn't act when they should have, but imagine being told over and over that your job is pointless for over 2 years. I would save those kids, but you haven't been very nice to me lately. Imagine writing that. Imagine writing that. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing, lady? And some of this stuff almost borders on like condescension. There's a thumbnail. There's a million views in 13 days. You were right. And it has a picture of Dr. Fauci looking scary in black and white. And then Pfizer and a bunch of goblins around trying to bite you or whatever. You were right. You guys were right. It's basically, he should just write, please click on this. Hey, AV is good. Please click on this, please.
Stop with all these conspiracy theories about coronavirus and its origins, will ya? It's not like that Wuhan lab has got an arrangement to delete data without it being looked at with a US lab, so shut up. Oh, bloody hell! So shouldn't it remain within the public field? If it's going to be publicly funded, then shouldn't the profits be public as well? Don't you think that's interesting? So many of you are averse to socialism, and I've got to tell you that, I don't agree with centralized power at all. But you already have a kind of socialism. Socialism that creates rules and regulations that mean that an elite band can retain control and power over information and resources. Meanwhile, ordinary people get shafted.
Yeah, this is sort of the genius of Russell Brand, is that I agree with him on a lot of stuff. And I think I even agree with his general framing of this, of like, people have no power and they're just doing whatever with no transparency and there's nothing we can do about it. He's absolutely right. He's right about a lot of this stuff. But at the same time, it is sort of weird that there's certain things he's not allowed to say on his channel. Like, I don't think he's allowed to present the other side of this, or his audience will start turning on him. If he showed them the data that virus hunter found, they would be like, no, but Trump said. So there we go, guys. The weird wild state of media nowadays. Very odd. What's important? What's the most important thing is to do this and get this. And where do we do it?
That's on YouTube. That's on YouTube.
Well, guys, thank you so much for watching. Happy Memorial Day. Is it? Hold on, let's see. Monday, May 30th. So please do that, okay? Okay? Do that. Hope you get to do something fun. Love you guys. Thank you for watching this. And as always, you know what? Actually, it's Memorial Day weekend, so one thing I would prefer you to do is, if you're going to do... maybe you'll take a...
Blue Chew.
If you do all those things...
Uber cars.
Do this. 2.
Uber cars.
And then you could sleep in a...
Bed made of money. Bed made of money.
Happy Memorial Day. Love you so much. And bye-bye. Hey guys, you're only getting a fraction of the show. You could get more of the show if you go to Patreon, and you get more and you get other stuff as well. The Book of Lega, which I'm going to try to I will upload this week, today. Interdimensional Steve, Ludini, Samson the Bulldog, Richard Brooks, Riddle and Poorly Produced. Oh, Surak is up in here. It's a good guy. Steph, Jen Jask, Erica with little smiley. Wow, that's great, bro. Okay, next, Colin Sue Myers, Justin Vilasta, Gonzo, Brew Leaf. Slow it down. Dope Tipped. That's a good name. Old Jarmingus. Bruno, Red Pimp, Juggernaut, keep that little smug M in a square, General Counsel, all these people, man, all bags. Anyway, you could be just like the, what did I say? You could be just like them. You could be just like them if you become a producer, you know? A producer like in Hollywood, you know, those guys, they're like, oh, you know who's a good example? Is, what are those guys' names? The Weinsteins, the other Weinsteins. I haven't read about them recently, but they're Hollywood producers. So I think probably there's people who you would want to, you know, kind of emulate, maybe. I should look them up. I don't know. Well, anyway, guys. Yeah, thanks so much.